Idaho Republican Rep Steve King, I'm not sure about any of that. I know it's not the horror writer, that's Stephen King. He really stepped in it by saying some horrible racist things and then backpedaling and digging himself an even deeper hole. First he said, we can't replace our demographics with other people's babies, racist. And then he said, you know what, before whites become a minority, blacks and Hispanics are going to be at each other's throats. What? Now, to backpedal, he said, look, I don't care if you have a bunch of beige babies. I'm not talking about race. Liar. And then he said, the other backpedal was, look, if it makes you feel better, adopt a black baby. Is that what you want me to say? Huh. Here's the thing about the two incendiary statements and the two recoils. All true. Sorry, folks. But conservatives, such as the Federalists, go, oh, hold on a sec. He said other people's babies. Clearly he means we can't have non-whites in this country. It's not about race. It's about culture. Yes, that is true, hypothetically, in academia land. Here on the ground, the way immigration is going is we're not getting other people's babies that can be westernized. In fact, we're taking Western babies and de-Westernizing them. Schools are Marxist now. Schools are indoctrination camps that Kim Jong-un would be very happy with, where we tell them, you suck, you suck, you suck. This is especially true in Britain, by the way, where we have Sadiq Khan saying immigrants shouldn't have to assimilate. This is after the London bombings where we had a Jamaican kid ends up being a radical Islamicist because he's surrounded by it, because we encourage it. Look at the Sarnevs. Normal little kids playing soccer, reading Batman comics, and then we'd say, America sucks, America sucks. Until they go, my Chechnyan brothers are right, I want to blow it up. So, other people's babies are totally irrelevant if we have a culture that encourages assimilation and we adopt Christians, Englishmen, not Zulus, as Pat Buchanan pointed out. But that's not the situation. So his other people's babies was not racist or bigoted. It was an accurate assessment of the reality we have right now. Second point, he says, where CNN called it doubling down. He said blacks and Hispanics would be at each other's throats. I don't know if you know this, and I understand if you don't because the media won't report on it. There's a race war going on, and it's blacks and Hispanics. Blacks and Hispanics are getting killed. Some girl on her skateboard, shot by Mexicans just because she's black. They're ethnically cleansing South Central. Even the Southern Poverty Law Center admits it's terror. They're firebombing. They're throwing Molotov cocktails into kids' rooms to get rid of blacks. Then they're funded by Mexican gangs. And these Mexican gangsters like MS-13 are saying, get rid of... I once did an Israeli accent. Hello, I'm from MS-13. I want you to get rid of the blacks. All right, my accents aren't great. So it's not a hypothetical that the blacks and the Hispanics would be at each other's throats before whites became a minority. They are at each other's throats. And if you go to an LA high school that has comparable black and Hispanic numbers, you're going to see extreme violence, especially on May 5th. Basically, schools in LA that have equal number of blacks and Hispanics are just fighting camps. It's like an MMA training center. That's what they've become. So his second statement was totally legit. Now let's go look at the backpedals. I don't care for one big Frappuccino race. First of all, we would never be that because races don't marry outside of their race. That's a myth. They'll take a few white guys with an Asian girlfriend and they'll go, see, we're all becoming homogenized. Yeah, it looks like that in the city sometimes, but when you check the actual numbers, say whites, for example, barely 3% marry outside of their race. And the Upper East Side New York Times readers, for them, it's virtually none. It's just a notion they like pretending exists. So lefties think that it's a right-winger's worst nightmare. Oh no, we're all becoming Frappuccino colored. It's not, because it's not happening. If it ever does happen, check back in on us right-wingers and we'll tell you how we feel about it. And that brings us to our last one. Adopt a black baby if you want. I love this. I love this because it separates the alt-right from the alt-light, who I see as the pie-in-the-sky weirdos and the actual applicable real Nick Searcy types who live here on Earth. If there's a white, passionate, American, pro-Western couple, and they can't breed because the stupid feminist wife waited too long, they should adopt. If the only kid available is a black, round them up and get them in there. What do you have at the end of the day with those two whites and that black baby. Well, the alt-righter will tell you, you have a cuck. You have a loser. He's literally a cuck. He's raising someone else's baby. Technically true. However, I don't like that term in that case. That's not what cuck was designed for. What I see is more Westernism. I see a family unit that has added the total amount of Westernness to a higher degree than it was before. And by the way, the people who are against this, they don't have kids. They have an avatar that's a knight in Twitter without their real name, but they don't have a kid. They're not in the game. This couple that adopted that kid, they're in the game, and they're improving the game. They're making Western society better. So, he said 2 shocking things, and he apparently made 2 backtracks, and they're all completely true. In fact, the one thing they all have in common is they're all hate facts. Hey guys, thanks for checking out that video. I do a show that you gotta pay for, subscribe to. It's called How's It Going, Eh? And I talk to interesting people about interesting stuff, and it's very serious and educational and political and smart. You can subscribe by clicking here.